Will there ever be another meta than defense in Dokkan? Will there ever be another meta than defense in Dokkan? First of all, shout out to Not Evan Close. I'm gonna leave a link to his YouTube channel down below. He's the guy that does the little OST, the fan made things. It's absolute fire. I encourage you guys to go check it out. It's gonna be a link to his channel down below. He's the one that gave me the video idea for the when did defense become important in Dokkan. Evan, man, you are making me like really think. So before I started recording this video, I went through some of the toughest fights in Dokkan, right? And yo, I don't know, man. I wouldn't even like consider. I would consider what we're in to be like. I would consider it to be a new meta, right? That's what I'm trying to say. I would. No, I can't even say that. No, I can't even say that because what I was gonna say is that I would probably consider, like, for example, like this is the same little chart that I used for the last video, that being for the when defense started to become important. I picked the Legendary Goku event meta, but in that same video, I said that you can probably talk me into saying that Battle Road was when defense became important, even though I said that there was some, creative team building that was happening between the times of 2015, of course, the start of the game, all the way up until like 2019 when the Legendary Goku event meta did start. We take a look at this chart. I was gonna say possibly for today's meta, could you consider what we're in now to be like a sub meta? Because this is still like, okay, the reason why I say a sub meta is like, for example, the second stage of Cell Max, right? You can debuff him after a certain amount of turns. For example, I'm pretty sure in the last part of the Blue Gogeta fight, for the Supreme Battle Spectacle, you could lower his attack, even though it doesn't matter. The fucker can raise his attack by 100%, right? He masters his attack on his super attack, and then his normals are just like torches. But you can still technically debuff him. So you could debuff Gogeta, technically. You could debuff Cell Max after a certain amount of turns. Of course, I'm talking about Blue Gogeta for the Supreme Battle Spectacle. I'm probably forgetting another one. I did just add these in. I don't remember why I added these in. Yeah, I don't remember why I added these in. If I remember correctly, you can't debuff the Sword of Hope Trunks. I don't remember. I don't think you could. Zamasu, I'm pretty sure you can't debuff him. And then Omega, I just don't remember. I don't think you could debuff him either. I don't remember that one too. But yeah, I was about to say that this little arrow could mean like a little sub meta, calling it like a, I don't know, like a defensive. I can't even say that though. Yeah, I can't say that. Yeah, I don't want to count it, but I just wanted to go ahead and throw out the idea for you guys to know what I was thinking for this specific arrow. I don't remember what I said inside the video 12 days ago, but the topic of the video is, what was it? Like, it was defense. Will there ever be another meta than defense to Dokkan? And, like, man, I don't know. I don't know. Does offense, like, ever become important again? No. I don't think so. Because 2019. So, Goku Day of 2019 was, in my opinion, when defense became important, right? And that was May 9th of 2019. We are in, what are we in right now? That's May 27th? Yeah, so we're pretty much past Goku Day by like what, almost 3 weeks? If my math serves me correctly, we've been into a defensive meta just about 5 years. Because the Legendary Goku event came out in Goku Day of 2019. Today is, of course, the day of me recording this video. It is May 27th, 2024. So 5 years. So could you pretty much say defense has been like the forefront of a speaking point for 5 years? And I did read a comment from that specific video. I just want to go ahead and pull it up. Someone said, and I actually like this comment, someone said something about Boss Rush. Boss Rush Stage 3. Yeah, this comment right over here. Started becoming important when items and debuffs started getting limited, when no item events became more common. All the way back to Boss Rush 3. Yeah. In the fight, 8 items are barely, well, was barely enough. And the best team of the clear was the Extreme Team. Not many talk about that stage. Yeah. Until the second anniversary to beat it. After that, it was probably LGE, prevented debuffs, and was a very long fight. I could actually consider this too. I never thought about this. This is why I love when OGs comment on these videos. I love it. Look at that. AKA myself, bro. But man, this is a tough question. Defense has, in my opinion, been important for 5 years, and of course, from that comment, he did mention the fact talking about Boss Rush. When the hell did Boss Rush come out? Boss Rush came out when? Let's go over to events. Bro, I don't even know when Boss Rush came out because I don't ever factor in Boss Rush being important when I'm pretty certain it was. And I did see videos of people attempting Boss Rush back then, but I didn't really incorporate it into talking about it in videos back then when I was doing those unit reviews and so on and so forth. Where is Boss Rush? Boy. Not a page I open up very often. There it goes, right over there. Boss Rush came out January. Wait. So the 2nd year anniversary. Yeah. Right? Just about the 2nd year anniversary. 2017, so January 28th of 2017 for JP. Yeah, that's the 2nd year anniversary. And of course, that's when the Super Saiyan 4s came out, the STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the AGL Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. What was that? Didn't they call them like the Neo Gods? I think that's what they called them. I don't remember. My memory's a little spotty for that era for Dokkan. Was it the Neo Gods? AKA the 120% leader skills. So wow, Boss Rush came out. You know what's crazy? I don't think I've ever looked at this page. Because I never considered this as like an important talking point. And that comment, this is, yeah. Yeah, this is something that could be considered. In the fight, 8 items was barely enough. And the best team to clear was the Extreme Team. They had more defensive utility than the Super Class team. Not going to talk about that stage because most wait until the 2nd anniversary to beat it. Wait. But this came out... Wait, this came out during the 2nd year anniversary, though. Unless he's talking about when the units dropped. And then Global gets it June 27th of 2017. So yeah, just about a couple of days before the 2nd year anniversary for Global. Wait. Hold on. I need to see something real quick. When in the hell... Let me grab up Super Saiyan. Let me grab up STR Super Saiyan for Goku and an AGL Super Saiyan for Vegeta. Let me grab you. You both came out on the same day. I gotta just take one. So JP, January 31st of 2017. So Boss Rush came out a couple of days before they dropped the units. And then July 7th of 2017. Okay, so they both came out some days. Well, of course, Global got it a little bit later than JP. Because Global got Boss Rush just about like a week and some change away from the 2nd year anniversary was dropping. Let me go back on over to this chart. But yeah, with that in mind, back to what I was saying about the little debuffing thing. Like, if I was to like add a little bit more to this chart, I would probably say, could we like add another arrow for like a little sub meta? I probably wouldn't though, because this all just screams like, well, this in particular just screams like big defensive wall unit. Like you want a big defensive like unit to just stand in front of these bosses' attacks and withstand them. The same could be said about this. Although your utility came in your revive, your defensive stacking, and your guard, of course, and then of course, you wanted to get of course, Gohan from that guard, and of course, this and then half the game just dying. Yeah, these two images are in conjunction with each other. I would probably say this is a little bit of a hypothetical, but this is of course for the video's sake. Will there ever be another defense like meta for? How do you even say it? Will there ever be another meta other than defense? Will defense be pushed to the side? Probably not. The closest thing I could say to defense being pushed aside is if Dokkan starts a debuffing meta. If they start like a debuffing meta. And could you possibly say that Dokkan has already started a debuff meta? I'm going to pull up a couple of examples in a second, but if you guys haven't seen the video for when the defense started to become important to Dokkan, go check it out. I feel like I did pretty good in that video. Shout out to Nine, of course, by the way. Yeah, there he goes right there. That's my guy. I love Evan. Dropped a couple of more OSTs. Anyways, couple of examples. I pulled up Kid Buu, the newest, tough fight that we got. Kid Buu could be attack debuffed. Surely enough, this stage is very annoying. I will put that out there. Even though I did beat this first try on both versions, albeit I got pretty lucky. I'm not gonna lie, I barely beat it on global, but on JP, I got really lucky, bro. But me getting lucky and beating the first try on both versions does not mean that it's not a tough stage, and it could. This stage is very annoying. I did throw a couple more attempts in, and I got clapped like 4 straight times. Like, it don't mean nothing. You beat the stage first try. It doesn't make it easy. I'm gonna say that out, just outright. So if anyone's saying that to you, tell them to go run it back again with a different team. All right, unless of course it's a top tier team. I mean, and hey, you just put your hands up and just say, oh well. So for example, Kid Buu could be attack debuffed. That's Exhibit A. Exhibit B could be Gogeta. Blue Gogeta could be. He could be attack debuffed from, Gogeta, Super Saiyan Gogeta, and then Blue Gogeta. You can attack debuff him through all these forms. So that's another example. Another example I could throw up here. Now I just pulled up these fights just because, they're just meat munching hard hitters. I mean, come on now. Look at this, bro. Cell Max. Another example I could just toss out there. A fight where the longer you go on, the more debuffs you can apply to him. Like, around the latter stages of the fight, he could be stunned, sealed, attacked, defensive debuffed, right? Just about. Yeah. Fight goes on, he could be hit with essentially any debuff. Pretty much. So, with these 3 examples, could you say that this is like the best thing I could, throw up there? I don't know, man. This is the best I got, Evan. This question is like, I don't think that Dokkan, I don't think Dokkan's gonna ever like steer away from a defensive meta. We've been going strong in a defensive meta for 5 years, in my opinion, of course, for the LGE meta. You could talk me into Battle Road, you could talk me into it, and of course you could also talk me into the little defense became important during boss rush thing. You can probably talk that into me. You gotta give me a good point there. You gotta, gotta give me a little bit more. Well, if you're speaking to me about it on that specific case, I mean, that guy did make a good point, and, he stated the specific, he said for Extreme Class. But, yeah, you could talk me into that, and you could also possibly talk me into SPR, but in my opinion, I think that for 5 years now, just about, well over 5 years, we're, at the time of me making this video, it is May 27th of 2024, defense has been going strong for over 5 years and some change. And to answer this question, no, I don't think that defense is going to get phased out for a long time. And I think the only way, in my opinion, for defense to be possibly like fizzled out of like a meta and we just go into like usher into another meta is like if Dokkan starts like a debuffing meta. But even then, they're not going to do that because they can't be too loose on debuffs because, for example, if you make like a fight and be able to be stunned, it's too damn easy. It could be too damn easy. Same goes for sealed. Stun or sealed, it's like it's real tricky. It's real tricky because they have to balance it around like a certain factor. Yeah, so like we'd have to go into like a debuff meta. Yeah, and then like 3 tough fights we got here. Kid Buu, Gogeta, well of course Gogeta, of course. And Cell Max. I'm flustered. I really can't answer this question. I don't think so. If I was to answer it, no. I don't think we get out of a defensive meta. Yeah. My first thought is like a debuff meta. What do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think down below because this is a tough question. Good question by Evan. Evan, you make me think. And the first thought is no. I don't think we go into another defense. Well, of course not another meta other than defense. And I don't think that Dokkan goes into like a debuffing meta. Unless like, okay, here's like the formula, right? So they either A, steer to much more tougher fights that are able to be debuffed in certain factors, and they mitigate it by making the boss have some sort of gimmick. Or B, they go back into an offensive meta where you have to blitz the boss, blitz the boss, blitz the boss. It's 2 paths. I don't think that Dokkan has another path. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm pretty much, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think down below. Evan, wow, you made me think. That's a very good question. I wonder what you guys think down below. Discord servers down below in the description, as I have been pretty much, shouting it out in almost every other video. Like the video if you enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys next video. I absolutely love you all. Peace.